Hey, what's up, everybody? From time to time in our golf schools and our instructional private lessons and half-day schools and what have you, I get asked what books can people read to kind of help their golf game, be it from a swing side, club fitting side, mental side, training, psychological, all that good stuff. So I've done a couple our top 5 books in the past. And so I thought I'd do another one because I've been getting a lot of inquiries on that as of late, especially with the shutdown and the COVID and all the crazy things that are happening in today's world. So I got 5 for you today. The first one, this one has been on just about every motivational person's reading list or a person who works in self-help, such as Tony Robbins or Joe Rogan, Tim Ferriss. The list goes on and on and on. I think everyone of those people have this in their library, and I understand why after reading it myself, because it is a phenomenal book and it deals with struggle and how to work with adversity, because we all go through ups and downs in our games. When we're playing bad, we think we're never going to start to play again. Now, this book is called Man's Search for Meaning by Viktor Frankl, and if you think that you have it tough, he wrote this book after he went through the Holocaust at Auschwitz and other concentration camps, and he went through insurmountable losses between his family and his loved ones. Not only did he come out of that, but he came out of it and used that to develop the principles for his later on career and to help people find meaning in their life. So you don't have to find meaning in your golf game, but again, if you're having trouble in your game and you're struggling and it's worrying on you mentally, which it does to all of us, regardless of skill level, this is a great book to read, not only for golf and improvement, but just in life in general. Highly, highly recommend this one. The second book deals with how to help you develop a pre-shot routine and stick to your process. And it more or less gives you a checklist, which leads into the name, called the Checklist Manifesto by Atwal Gawande. This was written by an oncologist surgeon who was hired to go around the world and determine on why there were so many accidents in surgical rooms and that should have never happened, and the rate of infection and things like that. So what he did was he developed a checklist that every surgical procedure is to go through, and he allowed nurses to stop doctors if they saw that they had missed one, all to the benefit of the patient's life and the success of the surgery. So why does that help you in your golf game? Because they later took this and they utilize it in various industries throughout the world, be it national builders and small businesses and things of that nature, to develop a checklist that will help you go through your process each and every time you're going to do something. So it's very, very good read and will help you, again, developing your pre-shot routine and going on into your life and your work in general. Very, very good book. Highly recommend this one. The third one is a little bit older, and but is still very well worth it because the principles and the fundamentals still apply. Now, this one is called Laws of the Golf Swing. This one was written by Mike Adams, who's a 2-time National Teacher of the Year, TJ Tomasi, and Dr. Jim Suttie. If you aren't familiar with their work, this really gets into how to measure yourself so you're swinging the way that your body is built and designed to move. So what post swinger are you? A lead post, a trail post, or center post? What's the ratio of your upper arm to your lower arm, and how does that dictate the backswing and where the club's going to go? How do you take your grip, and how will that influence your takeaway? All these different things are in here. It's a wonderful book. If you haven't read it yet or seen any of Mike's info, he's now on Instagram. I highly recommend you go following him because Mike's always has some great things. Very simple, very easy to implement, but has a big impact on your game. The other two, the last two, these are from people who have been guests on the Golf 360 podcast. I will put the links to those episodes down below as well. Love both of these guys. They were great on the show. We've become friends since, and I love following them and learning more from them and their information. The first one is Iain Highfield wrote Golf Practice, How to Take Your Range Game to the Golf Course. So for any of you who are making swing changes and can hit it great on the range and struggle when you get to the golf course, this is the book that you want to read. It's going to tell you number one, why you're not doing that, and number two, how you can do it. So many people just go out to the range, they grab their basket of balls, dump it out, and they just hit one after another. If they're hitting it good, they develop this false sense of confidence. If they're not, they get frustrated and they start hitting more and more and more until they get tired and they're just chasing their tail. Not only does Iain tell you how to do it, but he gives a number of different examples, exercises, and drills, and he utilizes what is called spacing, variability, and challenge. And depending on your skill level, beginner, intermediate, or advanced, you can modify any of those variables to meet the needs of your skill level. So this is very, very good book. They also have a YouTube channel. Again, you can follow them at Game Like Training, and Iain Highfield, I-A-I-N Highfield, is the author of this book. Highly recommended. And the last one, again, from another guest I had on the show, he didn't write this book, but he is one of the master certification people in the world. I think he's one of only a couple, and that was Jon Sinclair. Jon teaches out of Euless, Texas, and he's got something like 165 tour pros in his database where he's measured them on various things. But one of the things that he measures on is the 8 traits of champion golfers. And what this book addresses is, how do you think? So, for example, do you focus too much and you burn out through your round? Do you not focus enough that your mind wanders and you're not able to dial it in when you need to and it's time to hit the shot? Are you introvert? Are you an extrovert? All these different things are in this book that will help you understand better who and what you are as far as how you're wired, and then how you can utilize that best to improve your game so that your improvement is at an accelerated or at least a continual rate going upwards instead of peaks and valleys and ups and downs and all those sorts of things. So 8 Traits of Champion Golfers, another very, very good book. I hope you like all those. I'll put the links to all of them down below where you can check those out, as well as the podcast. If you have any questions or comments, please post them down below. And as always, thank you for watching another one of our videos.